one of the things that I really like about new projects is learning new things. Yeah, I've been around for a long time, and sometimes I act like I know it all, but I don't. And there's a fella that races these Crown Vics on the internet. His name's William. He had posted something that was actually pretty interesting. You got to take all the you got to take a lot of this stuff off. The fenders have to come off on this one. It's all wrecked. I got to replace the hood, fix the radiator and stuff like that. But you also, this is the main harness, and it's over by your bumper. Well, in racing, you're going to get hit. So he recommends taking this whole harness and moving it to the back of the engine compartment, which makes sense. But one of the tips that he posted on his page over there in Oklahoma was, if you're going to disconnect a ground wire, and he said, don't cut them. If you're going to disconnect one, use a zip tie. So I'm like, that makes sense. You put the zip tie around the eyelet of the ground wire. There's another one. You see, there's a ground wire here I have to take off because this fender has to come out. And so you take this off. Let's see if I can situate this. This camera thing is a little bit harder than I thought. But I suppose if you don't see me doing this and hear my voice, I probably don't exist, right? Anyways, so you take the zip tie. You got a ground wire right here that I need to take off. Take your bolt, put it in a bucket or something, because you may or may not need to reuse it. We only throw away things we know for certain we're not going to reuse. Okay, now that ground wire, when it comes down to moving all the wires and the whole process of building this race car, this wire just is 3 wires that are connected, and they just have eyelets on it. Now, if you don't know that they're ground, and you put all this stuff back together and you wrap up the harness up here, you very well could forget to add one of these grounds, and that could cause it so that that engine doesn't start, or you got some other aspects of the powertrain that aren't going to work. So what William was trying to explain was use a zip tie. Now, I got yellow ones because, well, the race car is going to be yellow, so we're trying to create a theme. Plus, the yellow ones seem to stick out a lot better than the black ones. Now, you have a telltale to remind you in a few days or weeks that that ground needs to be attached to something so that everything will work like it's supposed to. These are not carbureted cars. These are fuel injected. They got powertrain modules and all sorts of other electronics that need to work, and that means they have to have grounds. So I just wanted to share that little tech tip while I'm taking this fender off. William is he's a world of knowledge. He's a good guy. I've talked to him a couple of times, and he's a real value to have as far as knowledge and information goes. So I just want to share his tech tip with everyone in my circle. And yeah, so a lot of times it could be something simple, and it could take days to figure it out. And sometimes if it's a ground problem, you may never figure it out because you'll get frustrated first. So I'm going to continue taking this fender off. Hopefully tonight I'll be able to get the fenders off and the hood off and take the inner fenders out. And hopefully by the end of the week, we start making it at least look like it needs to be a race car. Right now, it still looks like a, I don't know, old man's car. I wanted to add that I was talking in my previous video about William giving some information. There's something else very important that he had mentioned. This is a Crown Vic class. It's a street stock class. You can't do anything with them. You can literally set this up to go racing on dirt and then take the very same car and go race on asphalt, because it's a street stock, meaning that it is stock car off the street racing. You put a roll cage in it and you take off the plastics and other things that'll fly off and hurt somebody, and then you go around racing it. He has stated that, because a lot of people, you know, talk to him and get advice from him, keep it simple. Just keep it a Crown Vic race car. Don't try to put high performance stuff in it. Decades ago, when I was racing before, we got priced out of our division because it was a street stock division, V8 rear-wheel drive, and then it got into a modified street, and then before you know it, they were using spec chassis and spec engines, and it got so expensive that we literally could not race anymore without going up to the next class. And that's the other thing that he stated. Williams said, they need to make a bumper sticker on this. If you want to cheat, move up to the next class. Leave these to be stock so we can go out there and have fun. You know, if you want to cheat, go and get racing engines and racing springs and all that other, you know, slicks and all that stuff, and go up to the next class. Because if you're cheating here, then this isn't enough for you. So 2 tech tips today. But I'm gonna I gotta get the ugly fender off. So until next time.